I think it does have, for a red, it does definitely have for a red a very, it's medium to full bodied. I think it's probably a semi-skimmed milk, maybe slightly full fat.
How
not
could we
quite
forget the
full
body?
fat.
Yeah. The mouth feel is, it's not heavy or light, but it's somewhere in between. It makes it,
It's definitely got
infinitely
weight to it.
enjoyable.
It's definitely got weight to it. It's got enough.
it does. Secondly, we have the Cuvée, the Bojo. Firstly, the Cuvée, or it's sort of a mix.
I feel like we should explain. A Cuvée is a wine that isn't just made of one particular grape on one particular estate. It's made up of different grapes in the same region, so it's not necessarily as well renowned by wine critics, but it does have its own unique impact as a wine.
It does.
It often has its own unique approach. If we just take a sniff of the bouquet, the nose of this wine.
When comparing it to the timeless clarets, there's nothing there.
There's very little there. But that isn't necessarily a negative remark that we should make clear. A Beaujolais is a very new, very recently fermented wine, so you wouldn't expect it to quite have the maturity of a claret. And that isn't a bad thing in a Beaujolais. A Beaujolais you expect drinking. A Beaujolais you'd want to drink in the first year of its vintage.
What you'll learn is that the Beaujolais doesn't even have a vintage year written on the bottle.
No.
I was outraged when we bought this from the Waitrose wine department, a classy establishment. But they know that this is going to be consumed quickly, easily. It's easy to drink.
It's very easy to drink.
It's the Ribena of the wine world.
Well, that isn't necessarily to give it a negative point. It is the kind of wine you could drink it without a meal, and that isn't necessarily a negative.
You could. So for those of us who possibly couldn't afford lunch or dinner, maybe those who go to bed hungry, this would be the wine for you. Secondly, the legs. The legs are laughable. I hate to say it.
I mean, it's no Usain Bolt, is it?
You can hardly see a leg from there. There's nothing there.
No,
it's a lowly 11 or 12%.
It's 12%.
Dare I say?
12%. I think it's 12%.
Practically fruit juice.
But I think having tasted it, what you are hit by is it's even more fruity than the claret. It definitely has a clarity to it. It's got a bit of a sparkle on your tongue. But then I'm afraid to say this, but as you leave it to rest in your mouth, there's very little balance. It doesn't have an acidity to balance out that fruitiness.
No,
and I think that is a negative for me.
The two sides of the scales are very much turned. Okay. Unlike the clarets that could last forever, in sort of a happy equilibrium. This is very much weighted towards the fruity end of the scale. And I hate to say it, but that does count against it.
And it's a shame, because I really enjoy the fruity punch you get hit with when you first sip this wine. I just don't feel like it lives up to anything. And the finish, let's be honest, is particularly weak on this wine.
This does not follow through. This is all fart no poo. What I'd say is it's relatively untannic. So it's lacking in tannins that I'm sure Ben could talk for days about tannins. So what do we have to say about tannins?
Well, tannins are they're the notes in the wine. They come from the grapes and they come from the maturity of the wine. They're the notes that when you drink your wine, they give it that particularly acidic kick. And you don't want to mistake things being overly tannic as being good. I think an excess of tannins is a negative, but you certainly want some in your wine.
You want some. It's a happy medium.
It helps it balance the wine, whereas I think this is very enjoyable to drink, but it's very difficult to savour.
So for a consumer point, if we're talking dinner party, this would be very much a secondary wine.
Maybe the third bottle.
Maybe the third bottle. So you'd enjoy the good stuff, and then you'd move on to the fruit juice, and you'd continue on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to think, just drinking more and more of this, it's possibly got a slightly flabby nature to it.
Would you say it's flabby?
I'd say it's flabby.
I wouldn't say it's many things. I would not go as far as to say it's flabby. Obviously, flabbiness.
Flabbiness.
It's very much a lack.
To our ill-educated viewers out there.
The silly viewer.
Flabbiness is very much the opposite of astringency. Flabbiness is the excess of fruitiness and sweetness in a wine. It's very much like drinking a fruit squash, I'd say. It lacks that acidity, that sophistication of a very good wine.
Of the claret.
But I mean, if my esteemed colleague here doesn't believe it's flabby, but I am against that opinion.
Flabby is a pejorative. a pejorative term, and it's frankly unfair to use it against such a drinkable wine.
I mean,
I
this
could drink
isn't-
this for days.
This isn't an unenjoyable wine. I'm just saying it's not necessarily excessively flabby, but it's got that slight hint. It's like the
Fight
man you.
me.
It's like the man you know was once slim
Fight
and
me.
svelte and maybe once a rower, Harry.
Maybe once a rower.
But then you know he's let himself go, like maybe myself.
A man who was once a rower and now
So
has allowed himself to
he's
enjoy
not
his life.
excessively morbidly obese.
No.
But he's on the road to obesity, as you might observe in myself.
On track, very much so. It's time, I think, to end the Bojo and move on to greater things. This is a sort of rudimentary wine glass cleaning routine because I didn't have enough glasses left in my
Which is
house.
a shame, because we
Yeah.
drink so much wine, most of them are in the dishwasher.
On to our third and final